Trinidad had threatened for the length of this test, but unfortunately it saved its worst for the last. Port of Spain became a port of rain on day 5, and it gave us one of those days that makes this a bit of a sport of pain. No play possible on day 5 of a test which did have a few results possible. As a result, the second test between India and West Indies ends in a draw. India do take the series 1-0, but it also means missed points in what is the first series of a new World Test Championship cycle. Welcome to ESPN Cricket for Match Day. Deep Das Gupta joins us. I would have said to look back on the final day of the series, but not much on that note, Deep. So we'll look back on the series as a whole. And I guess the first thing that jumps out is that India do have to look at it as 8 WTC points lost.
Absolutely. And if you look at that cycle, there are quite a few tough series coming up as well, quite a few away series as well. So this is, from that perspective, a big loss. There's absolutely no two ways about it, because start of the series, you'd be thinking, you know what, 2 test matches, we should win it, 2-0 and move on. But having said that, so this is definitely an opportunity lost, but you can't do much, can you, as far as the weather is concerned?
You have to give some credit to West Indies here, because they did manage in this test to bat nearly 150 overs, which for a team which had folded out twice in 115 overs in Dominica signals some kind of progress.
Absolutely. And listen, we do realize that there is enough potential and talent there. It's just that, that consistency is not there. And maybe it'll only come when these players, they keep playing games at this level or level closer to this. That will only come with experience. And there is experience, but not consistent enough. So I think those performances will come, and we were quite, it was heartening to see that the fight that we've seen from them in this test match obviously was disappointing, the first one. But, bottom line is there is potential, there is talent, there is new talent coming through as far as red ball cricket is concerned, in West Indies cricket as well. We've seen Alec, we've seen Mackenzie, the younger lot coming through. But it's just that, to make West Indies test team a success or competitive, I think what they really need to do is play more and more of this format.
So what would you consider if you're looking at it from a West Indian standpoint? And let's focus only on red ball. There are enough troubles in West Indian white ball cricket, which has a lot to do with a lot of other factors too. So let's ignore that. If West Indies are to build themselves up as a competent, challenging test outfit, what else can they work on?
Yes, I was thinking about it. Obviously, ideally speaking, you would want them to play as many test matches as possible against competitive sides, good sides, the top 4-5 sides. But at times that's not possible. Maybe not practical at times as well. But the other thing, that led me to a kind of a left field idea, and which is, if West Indies cricket can identify a few players and BCCI agrees to allow these players to let them play first-class cricket here in India. First-class cricket roughly happens for a couple of months, October, November. If West Indies cricket wants, maybe releases 4-5 of them, someone like, the youngsters like Alec and Mackenzie and few of the bowlers who are predominantly test players or red ball players, because in India we have 38 first-class sides. We can easily, absorb 4, 5, 6 players like that, which would be a great help, I think, to West Indies cricket, and would make them more competitive, playing at a good level regularly. I think that might help. So might be a very left field kind of an idea, but an idea I think can be useful.
Let's look at India from this series, the first test series of a new World Test Championship cycle, one that they came into admitting the transitional phase they find themselves in. Lots of new players blooded in. What do you, Deep, will be the biggest takeaways? I know where you're starting, but I'm looking forward to the rest of the answer.
Well, obviously, starting from the right at the top, Yashasvi, I think that's a big positive. The way he batted, he looked comfortable. But again, obviously, he'll face a lot sterner challenges going forward in this format. The next series itself is going to be a huge challenge against South Africa. But I think what we've seen so far, it seems like he's comfortable. He's ready for this level, and he's only going to get better. This was his first outing, and he looked so good in his first outing. But I'll still hold on to what I just said, that it's only gonna get sterner. Those challenges, it's only gonna get tougher. But whatever we've seen, and the way we've seen him kind of grow in the last year and a half, gives me a lot of confidence in him and his progress going forward.
The other new faces we saw, Ishan Kishan, and then in this test, Mukesh Kumar.
Okay, let's start obviously with Ishan as well. With Ishan, I guess the fact of the matter is he's the kind of player that you would want in that middle order, low middle order. He fits in that really nicely. He ticks a lot of those boxes. Keeping wise, he looks stable. He looks solid. Nothing flamboyant, nothing flashy, but consistent. I think that's the word, and that is very, very important. Being consistent and stable. And again, someone like him who actually has not played a lot of red ball cricket. If you look at first class cricket as well, he hasn't. But if he's kind of nudged and pushed a bit, and he does realize that there is a career for him in red ball cricket as well, I'm sure he's going to start focusing on it and start playing a lot more red ball cricket as well, which will help him improve as a keeper and also as a batter. But again, in terms of boxes, I think he takes a lot of them. So a lot of a positive from that perspective, because that's one area that Indian team is still kind of looking for a personnel. So I think he fits right in there. Again, it's gonna get tougher as the season goes on. We've got South Africa, then we've got England at home, where I think as a keeper you'll be challenged. Your skills will definitely be challenged in that series against England at home. But yeah, so far so good. And also the most important part is whether you get the signs or you get the confidence to invest in a player. And I think that's what Yashasvi, Ishan Kishan, and Mukesh has shown in this series, that they're worth the investment. Mukesh again, very consistent again on conditions and surfaces were not much of help for the seam bowlers, but I think again the basics were correct there, which encourages you or gives you that confidence to keep investing in Mukesh Kumar.
Yes, so lots of boxes ticked from India's new players. Lots of boxes ticked for their old guard too. Rohit Sharma scored runs every time he batted. Virat Kohli got that much awaited away test 100. Ravichandran Ashwin did what he does, goes and dominates matches and series, and Ravindra Jadeja continued to be quietly effective. Nothing new in all those aspects, so I'm not going to spend any time there. That just about does it. Pity that we didn't get a result on the final day, but it's been a lot of fun having your company, Deep, through this test series, through these long nights, at times unending nights. All the coffee used in UK and here in Mumbai served us well. I hope you had a good time too, and we look forward to the next time you're with us on ESPN Cricinfo Match Day. That does it from us for this India-West Indies test series on ESPN Cricinfo Match Day.